Abundant. Existing in large quantities. The area is rich in abundant natural resources. Ambiguous. Having more than one possible meaning. His reply to my question was somewhat ambiguous. Apparent. Easy to see or understand. It became apparent that she was not coming. Arbitrary. Based on chance rather than being planned. The choice of players seemed completely arbitrary. Arduous. Involving a lot of effort and energy. It was an arduous journey across the mountains. Aesthetic. Relating to beauty or art. The building has great aesthetic value. Auspicious. Showing signs that something will be successful. It was not an auspicious start to his career. Authentic. Known to be real and genuine. They served us authentic Italian food. Bizarre. Very strange or unusual. I just heard a bizarre story about him. Blatant. Very obvious and intentional in a bad way. It was a blatant lie from start to finish. Brittle. Hard but easily broken. The old pages of the book were dry and brittle. Captivating. Holding your attention by being extremely interesting. The view from the top was truly captivating. Chronic. Lasting for a long time and difficult to cure. He suffers from chronic back pain. Coherent. Logical and easy to understand. He was unable to give a coherent account of the accident. Complacent. Too satisfied with yourself to feel you need to try harder. We cannot afford to be complacent about safety. Comprehensive. Including everything that is necessary. The report is a comprehensive study of the subject. Concise. Giving only the information that is necessary and important. Please keep your answers as concise as possible. Conspicuous. Easy to see or notice. The bird has a conspicuous red head. Controversial. Causing a lot of angry public discussion. The new law is highly controversial. Conventional. Following what is done or considered normal. He has very conventional views on education. Crucial. Extremely important or necessary. Secrecy is crucial to the success of the plan. Cynical. Believing that people are only interested in themselves. He has a cynical view of human nature. Deficient. Not having enough of something. Their diet is deficient in vitamin C. Deliberate. Done on purpose rather than by accident. It was a deliberate attempt to deceive us. Dense. Containing a lot of things or people in a small area. We walked through a dense forest. Depressing. Making you feel very unhappy and without hope. The news from the front is very depressing. Devastating. Causing a lot of damage or destruction. The storm had a devastating effect on the crops. Diligent. Showing care and effort in your work. He is a very diligent student. Diminutive. Very small. She was a diminutive figure for her age. Discrete. Independent and separate from others. The organisms can be divided into discrete groups. Disinterested. Not influenced by personal feelings or advantage. We need a disinterested party to settle the dispute. Distinct. Clearly different or separate. There are 3 distinct types of this plant. Distorted. Pulled out of shape or false. The newspaper gave a distorted account of the events. Dormant. Not active or growing but able to become so. The volcano has been dormant for years. Drastic. Extreme and sudden. We need to take drastic action to reduce costs. Durable. Likely to last for a long time without breaking. These shoes are made of durable leather. Eccentric. Strange or unusual in behavior. He is known for his eccentric habits. Eloquent. able to use language and express opinions well. She made an eloquent speech against the war. Elusive, difficult to find, define, or achieve. Success remained elusive for the young artist. Eminent, famous and respected within a particular profession. He is an eminent scholar in his field. Empirical, based on experiments or experience rather than ideas. We have no empirical evidence to support this. Enigmatic, mysterious and difficult to understand. He left an enigmatic message on my desk. Erratic, not happening in a regular or expected pattern. His behavior has become increasingly erratic. Essential, completely necessary or extremely important. Experience is essential for this job. Evident, easily seen or understood. It has become evident that the plan is failing. Exquisite, extremely beautiful or carefully made. The jewelry was absolutely exquisite. Extensive, covering a large area or having a great range. The house has extensive grounds. Extraneous, not directly connected with the subject. We must exclude all extraneous information. Extravagant, spending a lot more money than you can afford. It was an extravagant lifestyle she couldn't maintain. Feasible, that is possible and likely to be achieved. It's just not feasible to finish the work by Friday. Feeble, very weak. The sick man's pulse was very feeble. Ferocious, very aggressive or violent. The storm grew more ferocious as the night went on. Fickle, changing often and suddenly. The weather here is notoriously fickle. Finite, having a definite limit or fixed size. We only have a finite amount of time. Flawless, without any mistakes or marks. Her English is almost flawless. Fragile, easily broken or damaged. Be careful, the glass is very fragile. Frantic, done in a hurried way and in a state of excitement. They made a frantic search for the missing child. Frivolous, silly or funny rather than being serious. I feel like it was a frivolous waste of money. Frugal, using only as much money or food as is necessary. He has a very frugal lifestyle. Futile, having no purpose or chance of success. It's futile to argue with him when he's angry. Generic, shared by a whole group and not specific. Fruit is a generic term for apples, pears, etc. Genuine, real and exactly what it appears to be. Is the leather genuine? Grandiose, seeming very impressive but too large or complicated. He has grandiose plans for the future. Graphic, giving a clear and detailed picture. The book contains graphic descriptions of the war. Gullible, too willing to believe or trust what people tell you. How could you be so gullible? Haphazard, with no particular order or plan. The books were piled in a haphazard way. Hostile, very unfriendly or aggressive. The local people were hostile to the visitors. Humane, being kind towards people or animals. The prisoners were treated in a humane way. Hypocritical, behaving in a way that suggests you have higher standards than you do. It would be hypocritical of me to advise you. Immaculate, extremely clean and tidy. She always looks immaculate. Imminent, almost certain to happen very soon. A strike is imminent. Implicit, suggested without being directly expressed. There was an implicit agreement between them. Imposing, impressive to look at. The castle is an imposing building. Inadvertent, done by accident without being intended. I made an inadvertent error in the report. Incessant, never stopping. The incessant noise from the street is driving me crazy. Incompatible. Two things that cannot exist or be used together. These two systems are incompatible. Incredible. Impossible or very difficult to believe. The view was truly incredible. Indifferent. Having no interest in someone or something. He was totally indifferent to my news. Inevitable. That you cannot avoid or prevent. It was an inevitable consequence of the decision. Inherent. That is a basic or permanent part of someone. The desire for freedom is inherent in us all. Innocuous. Not harmful or dangerous. It seemed like an innocuous question. Innovative. Introducing or using new ideas. The company is famous for its innovative designs. Inquisitive. Very interested in learning about many things. He has an inquisitive mind. Insightful. Showing a clear understanding of a complicated problem. Her analysis of the problem was very insightful. Intangible. That cannot be easily seen or touched. Trust is an intangible asset. Integral. Being an essential part of something. Music is an integral part of the school's life. Intense. Very great or very strong. The heat was becoming quite intense. Intermittent. Stopping and starting often over a period of time. There were intermittent showers throughout the day. Intricate. Having a lot of different parts and small details. The watch mechanism is very intricate. Intrinsic. Belonging naturally to something. The intrinsic value of the diamond is huge. Invaluable. Extremely useful. Your advice has been invaluable to me. Invariable. Always happening in the same way. Her invariable answer was no. Ironic. Showing that you really mean the opposite. It's ironic that she's a vegetarian but works in a butcher shop. Irrelevant. Not important to the situation. His age is irrelevant to his ability to do the job. Judicious. Careful and sensible. We should make a judicious choice of words. Lethal. Causing or able to cause death. This medicine can be lethal if taken in large doses. Lucrative. Producing a large amount of money. The deal proved to be very lucrative. Luminous. Shining in the dark. The watch has a luminous dial. Magnificent. Extremely attractive and impressive. The view from the top is magnificent. Mandatory. Must be done because of a law or rule. Wearing a seatbelt is mandatory. Marginal. Small and not important. There has been a marginal improvement in his work. Meager. Very small in amount or number. He lived on a meager salary. Melancholy. Feeling or expressing sadness. The rainy weather put her in a melancholy mood. Meticulous. Giving great attention to every detail. She is meticulous about her appearance. Minute. Extremely small. The particles are so minute that they can't be seen. Monotonous. Never changing and therefore boring. The work was dull and monotonous. Mundane. Ordinary and not interesting. I lead a very mundane life. Nefarious. Wicked or criminal. He was known for his nefarious activities. Negligible. So small that it is not worth considering. The cost of the repair was negligible. Notable. Deserving to be noticed or remembered. This is a notable achievement for the team. Notorious. Famous for something bad. The area is notorious for its high crime rate. Novel. New and different from what has been known before. That's a novel idea for a story. Objective. Based on facts rather than feelings. We need an objective assessment of the situation. Oblivious. Not aware of what is happening around you. He was oblivious to the danger. Obscure. Not well known or difficult to understand. The origins of the language are obscure. Obsolete. No longer used because something new exists. Typewriters are now obsolete. Obstinate. Refusing to change your opinion or behavior. He is too obstinate to admit he is wrong. Ominous. Suggesting that something bad is going to happen. There were ominous dark clouds in the sky. Optimal. The best or most suitable. We are seeking the optimal solution to the problem. Opulent. Extremely rich and expensive. He lived an opulent lifestyle in a huge mansion. Ornate. Covered with a lot of decoration. The ceiling was painted with ornate designs. Orthodox. Following generally accepted beliefs. He holds very orthodox views on religion. Outrageous. Very shocking and unacceptable. The price of the meal was outrageous. Overt. Done in an open way and not secret. There was no overt hostility between them. Paranoid. Afraid that other people want to harm you. He started to get paranoid about his safety. Passive. Allowing things to happen without reacting. He played a passive role in the meeting. Peculiar. Strange or unusual. There was a peculiar smell in the kitchen. Perceptive. Very good at noticing and understanding things. It was a very perceptive comment. Perilous. Very dangerous. The journey across the sea was perilous. Perpetual. Continuing for a long period of time without stopping. They live in a state of perpetual fear. Persistent. Continuing to exist or happen for a long time. She has a persistent cough. Pervasive. Spreading through every part of something. The influence of social media is pervasive. Pessimistic. Expecting bad things to happen. He has a pessimistic view of the future. Plausible. Reasonable and likely to be true. Her explanation sounds quite plausible. Poignant. Causing a strong feeling of sadness. The movie was a poignant reminder of the war. Precarious. In a dangerous state that is not safe or steady. The museum is in a precarious financial position. Precocious. Showing mental development at an early age. She was a precocious child who could read at 3. Predominant. Most obvious or common. The predominant color in the room is blue. Preposterous. Completely unreasonable or silly. The whole idea is preposterous. Prestigious. Respected and admired as very important. He won a prestigious award for his work. Prevalent. Very common in a particular place or time. These beliefs are prevalent in many cultures. Primitive. Belonging to a very early stage of development. The camp had only primitive facilities. Profound. Very great or intense. The book had a profound effect on me. Progressive. In favor of new ideas and social change. They have very progressive views on education. Prolific. Producing a large amount of something. He was a prolific writer of short stories. Prominent. Important and well known. He is a prominent member of the community. Prompt. Done without delay. Thank you for your prompt reply. Prone. Likely to suffer from or do something. He is prone to headaches. Prophetic. Correctly stating what will happen in the future. His words proved to be prophetic. Prosperous. Rich and successful. The city has become very prosperous. Prudent. Sensible and careful when making judgments. It would be prudent to save some money. Quaint. Attractive because it is unusual and old-fashioned. We stayed in a quaint little cottage. Radical. Involving a great or complete change. We need to make radical changes to the system. Reciprocal. Involving two people giving the same thing. They have a reciprocal arrangement. Redundant. No longer needed or useful. New technology has made many jobs redundant. Relentless. Never stopping or getting any less strong. The sun was relentless in the desert. Relevant. Closely connected to what is happening. Please keep your comments relevant to the topic. Reluctant. Hesitating before doing something because you do not want to do it. He was reluctant to admit his mistake. Remarkable. Unusual or surprising in a way that causes people to take notice. She has a remarkable memory for names. Remote. Far away from places where other people live. They live in a remote mountain village. Renowned. Famous and admired for a special skill. He is a renowned expert in the field. Repetitive. Saying or doing the same thing many times. The work is very repetitive and boring. Resilient. Able to recover quickly from problems. Children are often more resilient than adults. Resolute. Having or showing great determination. He was resolute in his decision to leave. Restrictive. Limiting what someone can do. The new rules are very restrictive. Rigid. Very strict and difficult to change. The company has a rigid hierarchy. Robust. Strong and healthy. He looks robust despite his age. Rudimentary. Dealing with only the most basic matters. He has only a rudimentary knowledge of French. Ruthless. Hard and cruel with no pity. He was a ruthless businessman. Sarcastic. Saying things that are the opposite of what you mean to hurt someone. I can't stand his sarcastic comments. Scanty. Too small in size or amount. Evidence of the crime was scanty. Skeptical. Having doubts that a claim or statement is true. I am skeptical about his chances of winning. Solemn. Very serious and not happy. It was a solemn occasion. Solitary. Done alone without other people. He leads a solitary life in the woods. Sophisticated. Having a lot of experience of the world and culture. She is a sophisticated woman. Sparse. Only present in small amounts. Traffic was sparse on the highway. Spontaneous. Done in a natural way without being planned. The crowd broke into spontaneous applause. Sporadic. Happening only occasionally or at irregular intervals. There were sporadic outbreaks of violence. Stable. Not likely to move or change. The patient is in a stable condition. Stagnant. Not developing or making progress. The economy has remained stagnant for years. Static. Staying in one place without moving or changing. House prices have remained static this month. Strenuous. Needing great effort and energy. Avoid any strenuous exercise for a few days. Subjective. Based on personal feelings rather than facts. My opinion is purely subjective. Subsequent. Happening after something else. The first meeting was followed by subsequent discussions. Substantial. Large in amount or importance. The house needed substantial repairs. Subtle. Not very obvious or easy to notice. There are subtle differences between the two. Sufficient. Enough for a particular purpose. Do we have sufficient food for everyone? Superficial. Appearing to be true until examined more closely. He had only a superficial knowledge of the subject. Superior. Better in quality or value than others. This model is superior to the old one. Suspect. Feeling that someone is guilty of something. His behavior was very suspect. Sustainable. involving the use of natural products in a way that does not harm the environment. We need to find sustainable energy sources, tangible, that can be clearly seen or touched. There is no tangible evidence of his guilt. Tedious, lasting or taking too long and not interesting. The journey was long and tedious. Tentative, not definite or certain. We have made a tentative arrangement to meet. Trivial, not important or serious. I don't want to waste time on trivial matters. Turbulent, involving a lot of sudden changes and confusion. The country has a turbulent history. Unanimous, agreed by everyone. The decision was unanimous. Underlying, important but not easily noticed. We need to find the underlying cause of the problem. Unequivocal, expressing your opinion clearly and strongly. The answer was an unequivocal no. Unprecedented, that has never happened or existed before. The company is facing unprecedented growth. Unruly, difficult to control or manage. A group of unruly teenagers was causing trouble. Vague, not clear in meaning or detail. His description of the man was very vague. Valiant, very brave in a difficult situation. They made a valiant effort to save the child. Valid, based on what is logical or true. You raise a valid point. Vast, extremely large in area or amount. The Sahara Desert is vast. Versatile, able to do many different things. He is a very versatile actor. Viable, that can be done successfully. There is no viable alternative to the plan. Vibrant, full of energy and life. The city has a vibrant nightlife. Vicious, violent and cruel. The dog made a vicious attack on the boy. Vindictive, showing a strong desire to harm someone who has hurt you. He is a very vindictive man. Virtuous, behaving in a very good and moral way. She lived a virtuous life. Virulent, extremely dangerous or harmful. A virulent strain of the virus has emerged. Vital, extremely important and necessary. Speed is of vital importance. Vivid, producing very clear pictures in your mind. I have a vivid memory of the day we met. Void, having no legal force. The contract was declared null and void. Volatile, likely to change suddenly. The political situation is very volatile. Voluminous, very large and containing a lot of space. She wore a voluminous silk skirt. Vulnerable, weak and easily hurt. The old and the sick are the most vulnerable. Wary, careful because you think there may be a danger. Be wary of strangers who offer you money. Wholesome, good for your health or moral character. We eat only wholesome food. Wicked, morally bad or evil. It was a wicked thing to do. Widespread, happening over a large area or among many people. The disease is now widespread. Witty, able to say things that are clever and funny. He is a very witty public speaker. Wretched, feeling very unhappy or ill. I felt wretched about the way I had treated her. Zealous, showing great energy and enthusiasm for something. He is a zealous supporter of the cause. Abrasive, showing little concern for the feelings of others. He has a very abrasive manner. Abrupt, sudden and unexpected. The meeting came to an abrupt end. Abstract, based on general ideas rather than real things. Beauty is an abstract concept. Absurd, completely ridiculous or not logical. It is absurd to suggest that he is a spy. Acute, very serious or severe. There is an acute shortage of water. Adamant, determined not to change your mind. She was adamant that she would not come. Adequate. Enough in quantity or quality for a particular purpose. The old system is no longer adequate. Adverse. Negative and unpleasant. The drug can have adverse side effects. Affable. Pleasant and easy to talk to. He was an affable man with a great sense of humor. Affluent. Having a lot of money and a high standard of living. He grew up in an affluent neighborhood. Aggravated. Made more serious or worse. The injury was aggravated by his refusal to rest. Agile. Able to move quickly and easily. He is very agile for a man of his age. Alarming. Causing worry and fear. The rise in crime is very alarming. Alluring. Attractive and exciting in a mysterious way. The city has an alluring charm. Aloof. Not friendly or interested in other people. He stayed aloof from the rest of the group. Altruistic. Caring about the needs of others more than your own. It was an entirely altruistic act. Amicable. Done in a friendly way without arguing. They reached an amicable settlement. Ample. More than enough. There is ample evidence to support the claim. Analytical. Using a logical method to examine something. He has a very analytical mind. Anomalous. Different from what is normal or expected. The results of the test were anomalous. Anonymous. With a name that is not known. The money was given by an anonymous donor. Antagonistic. Showing or feeling active opposition. They have an antagonistic relationship. Apathetic. Showing no interest or enthusiasm. The young people are apathetic about politics. Appalling. Very bad and shocking. The weather was absolutely appalling. Applicable. That can be applied to a particular situation. These rules are not applicable to everyone. Appreciable. Large enough to be noticed or have an effect. There has been an appreciable increase in sales. Apprehensive. Worried or frightened that something bad will happen. I am a little apprehensive about the future. Apartment suitable or appropriate in the circumstances. It was an apt description of the situation. Archaic. Very old or old-fashioned. The law is now archaic and needs to be changed. Ardent. Showing strong feelings of love or admiration. He is an ardent fan of the team. Arrogant. Behaving in a proud and unpleasant way. He is an arrogant man who thinks he is better than everyone else. Articulate. Able to express thoughts and feelings clearly. She is an articulate and intelligent woman. Artificial. Made by people and not occurring naturally. The flowers are artificial. Ascetic. Living a simple life without physical pleasure. He leads an ascetic life in a monastery. Aspiring. Wanting to start the career or activity mentioned. She is an aspiring actress. Assertive. Expressing your opinions with confidence. You need to be more assertive. Assiduous. Working very hard and taking great care. He was assiduous in his duties. Astounded. Very surprised or shocked. I was astounded by his news. Astute. Very clever and quick at seeing what to do. He is an astute businessman. Atrocious. Very bad or unpleasant. Her handwriting is atrocious. Attentive. Listening or watching carefully. The students were very attentive. Atypical. Not representative of a group or type. It was an atypical reaction to the news. Audacious. Willing to take risks or being shocking. It was an audacious plan to rob the bank. Augmented. Made greater in size or value. The income was augmented by a second job. Austere. simple and plain without any decoration. The room was austere and cold. Authoritative, showing that you expect people to obey you. He spoke in an authoritative voice. Autonomous, having the power to govern itself. The region is now autonomous. Available, that you can get, buy, or use. Is this dress available in red? Avaricious, extremely greedy for money. He was an avaricious man who cared only for wealth. Averse, strongly disliking or opposed to something. He is not averse to a little hard work. Avid, very enthusiastic about something. He is an avid reader of science fiction. Baffled, completely confused and unable to understand. The police are baffled by the crime. Barren, not good enough to produce crops. The land is barren and dry. Bashful, shy and easily embarrassed. He was a bashful boy who hated being noticed. Belligerent, aggressive and ready to fight. He became belligerent after a few drinks. Benevolent, kind and helpful. He was a benevolent old man. Benign, kind and gentle. His face had a benign expression. Bereft, completely lacking something. The room was bereft of furniture. Besieged, surrounded by an army. The city was besieged for several months. Bestial, cruel and like an animal. It was a bestial crime. Bewildered, very confused. He had a bewildered look on his face. Biased, preferring one person or thing to another. The report was biased in favor of the government. Bitter, feeling angry and unhappy. He was bitter about his failure. Blissful, extremely happy. They spent a blissful week on the island. Boisterous, noisy and full of energy. The children were very boisterous. Bombastic, using long words that sound important but have no meaning. He made a bombastic speech. Boorish, very rude and insensitive. His behavior was boorish and offensive. Bountiful, given in large amounts. We had a bountiful harvest this year. Brazen, open and without shame. It was a brazen lie.